There we go. We are back. That was Dario Doimo live. Gosh, I can't remember what year that was. Rob was really skinny back then. I'm sure I was too. So, ladies and gentlemen, we are 5 minutes into our next presenter's time. I deeply apologize. We're going live with them right now. Ladies and gentlemen, National Flair Bartenders Day Cocktail Network Live would like to welcome Philip Raimondo.
I'm working on my new Flair move. I got this thing I'm working on with a Grand Marnier bottle. I'm working on it. I'm gonna get it.
You got it, man. You got it. I have to go get mine. I think I have to go get my Grand Marnier bottle. I've got a room of booze over there. I should go get a whole bunch and start playing with.
Yeah.
How are you, man?
I'm doing good. I just having a fun Saturday here. I just want to thank you again. I had so much prep work to do this morning. I didn't have to mow the yard yet, so this is great.
You're welcome. I was. We were. We got into that long conversation about the early days of Flair bartending and how it all got started back in the day. And I saw you down in the corner of my screen here. I so wanted to bring you into the conversation.
I was itching wanting to get in there. I'm like, you guys are like a decade after me.
Right. Yeah. What year did you start bartending?
So I started in 89 or 9. I think early 90. I was at TGI Fridays, Sarasota, Florida. And
started in 88 then, my friend.
Well, okay, so you got me by a year.
I do. Those other young fellas that were on the show don't. So anyway, carry on. You started where?
Yeah, so TGI Fridays, Sarasota, and just, totally loved the whole bar scene. It was great. We were having fun. I was one of those guys that since I was new, if everybody knew the old training at Fridays, the deal was you had to go through 5 or 6 weeks of training, making minimum wage and no tips. Weeks.
Yes.
Okay? And then after the 5 or 6 weeks of the training, you had to do 6 months of service bar. You never got front bar. If you got a front bar shift, it was a lunch on a Tuesday.
And explain what service bar meant back in the day.
So back in the day, we used to have a bar in the kitchen, a service bar, a remote service bar down in the kitchen.
Behind the wall.
Behind the wall. Now, they have them on the bar in some of the restaurants too, but it was literally down in the kitchen, a separate bar, that all I did was crank out drinks right next to the food line.
Right.
So all the mistakes that the chefs made came into the service bar, which was great. You put on you get to eat for cheap while you're on those 6 weeks, right? And then the 6 months. But
that's all you were eating. You're probably shoving some in your pockets to take home, right?
Yeah, it's like, hey, you can eat that chocolate cake. It's gonna go bad. So you would literally be back there making drinks. 19, 20 dubs, servers, waitresses. They'd be working on a Friday night, Saturday night, and they would just be calling the drinks out to you. You didn't have a chit that printed and told you what to make with all the special instructions.
Oh, right.
They had code words and certain ways to ring. So like if you had something that required me to start the drink, meaning it was not going to be made in the glass it was served, i.e. a rum and coke or something like that, I had to hear the word working. So that meant working strawberry daiquiri. And they would be there waiting to get the strawberry daiquiri. Now, if another dub walked in and ordered working strawberry daiquiri, the first person who ordered a strawberry daiquiri would have to say, that's 2 strawberry daiquiris all day. So if you ever heard the phrase all day, that's kind of where it came from. So then I would have to add more rum, and I would make 2 strawberry daiquiris. And then they would put the glasses up on the service bar exactly where they needed to go. And I would just pour right into it. And they would do their own soda mixers. They would ice their own glasses. But we didn't have a chill. If I forgot a drink, I'd have to find this, the server, get it, remember it. But you get really good at memorizing drinks at that point because you have 19 people yelling 5, 6 drinks at you at a time. And granted, a lot of it was easy. Leaded and unleaded, which is light beer or regular beer on tap. We had colors for all of our beers, so you couldn't screw up. You wouldn't say Bud Light or a Miller Light. You would say Miller, you would get an MGD, or Miller High Life. If you said a light, you would get a Miller Light. But then you also had colors. So Chrome was Bud Light. We did have silver. Coors Light. Coors Original was gold. So you'd have all these different colors for the beers that you'd yell out. I actually traveled up to Ohio to passport and worked in another restaurant, worked service bar for a day, and they used presidents. So they were yelling at Washington, Lincoln. I'm like, I don't know what the hell you're talking about. No, that's a bus. Okay, yeah. They used presidents instead of
Because
colors.
they knew you were the rookie, right? They knew you were the new guy.
And everybody was ordering beers that day. But,
2 LITs and a Moscow, or not, Cuba Libre. Yeah.
Cuba Libre, yeah. What the hell's a? Why didn't you just tell me it was a rum and coke?
What? You bitch! Why did you tell me it was a rum and coke?
It's the best. So anyway, so I'm working at Fridays. I'm starting to learn some Flair. We're hosting the, in stores, we're hosting the regionals for Flair for our division. And I totally, now it clicks. I'm bar backing for Jeff Ruth for his year that he went to the finals. I think it was 91. And then I ended up helping out with the regionals, going in and helping them run theirs. And then years and years later, Fridays called me up. I had been running, actually, a couple of the comps I ran back in the day.
The Bar Stars events. Yeah.
Yeah, but then I worked for Patrick Henry, so I ran Quest for the Best for probably 5 years.
That's right. From what years? So, what years did you start that with Friday?
I ran Quest for the Best in '99 as an outsider. I helped Patrick out in Orlando because he didn't have anybody on the ground there. And then I went to work for Patrick, and I ran it for 4 years after I started working for Patrick.
Awesome. I started in 98, I think, was my first
I remember
Quest.
you there. I was there in 98 with you, 97, because we were helping Disney. Rick and I were helping Disney out with some of the compulsory stuff with their local stuff.
Right.
But and then we trained a lot of guys. You remember my house? My house was
your house is where
Billy
Yard
Hitchcock.
Days was invented, right?
Yeah, Billy Hitchcock. It was kind of his thing. He would call up everybody. It was at our house we shared, and Brian, of course, and I saw Trumper recently. I had dinner with Trumper. Actually, it was great. So we would have guys come over. We set up a bar in the backyard. We had a speed round bar in our dining room. And then we had pour testing classes in the kitchen. So, anybody can come by anytime. I'd be working pour testing because that was kind of my niche. I was really good at that. And I was good at speed rounds. Billy's in the back teaching juggling. Alan Mays would come over. It was like no big deal. We'd have, guys from out of town. This is before Alan moved. We're talking before Alan moved to Vegas to go to the Voodoo Lounge.
Yes, yeah, Voodoo Lounge with Ken Hall.
This is pre-Voodoo Lounge, I think.
This is pre-Vegas Flair. Rob Husted tells a story that he got, Rob Husted was invited to one of your yard days and was so intimidated by everybody that he couldn't touch a bottle. But he's got a whole bunch of it on camera,
he used to have the big camera, And then we moved houses to another because our lawn guy, he stopped coming. He wouldn't come to mow our yard anymore.
Because it's all glass.
It's all glass. And then, of course, Flairco comes out. But that was like years later. We had to actually tape our bottles.
Right. I had the same backyard. That's why I invented the damn plastic bottle. Because my backyard, I had 2 little kids, 3-year-old kids, that couldn't go in the backyard because there was broken glass everywhere.
Yep. But then we moved houses, and that house was on the lake, which is great. So we moved the bar a little bit further back. We got an outdoor bar. And then we actually had 2 bars out there. And these guys would be flipping bottles between bars, which is where we came up with the idea to do the first tandem competition, if you recall. Right. I don't think that anybody's ever done a tandem since then.
Yeah, they're in and out. We talk about doing it. But, all right, Philip.
So that's where I got my start. And I always was like the guy that couldn't do Flair. That was my thing. So I had to come up with another niche.
Ah, very good. Nice segue. Good segue. All right. Let me set you up here, Philip. Philip Raimondo, you've just heard, of course, that he's got this legacy of Flair with all the great Flair bartenders. In his own words, not very good at Flair, wanted to learn other things to talk to entertain his
I can
guests.
Still get 3 bottles up, though. Don't give it. I can still throw 3 bottles.
Yeah, I know. You can still get them going. Yeah.
Not going to happen today.
Phil is a magician as well as a great pianist. Yeah, very good. That's another story altogether on another day. We'll definitely have to have you back on another day with Rob so we can talk about your history. But one of the things that Rob Husted and I are doing, and we talked about it with Tom on our clip ahead of this, was the term Flair bartender, or the terms bartender with flair. two very different terms, really.
Mm-hmm.
Flair Bartender is kind of defined right now as the bottle flip and shaker spin and glass tossing bartender.
Yeah.
Bartenders with flair are bartenders who are entertaining with their own personality, style, and flair. I would like all those words to be synonymous at one point in the future.
Mm-hmm.
But tell us a bit about doing magic and bar tricks and how you evolved into that, so that we can get onto this segment, because I really got some cool things to teach our viewers today.
So, one of my mentors and the guy who trained me originally to bartend was Magic Mike. He and
Right.
Jimmy kind of took me under their wing. They came down and did the workshops with us after I did my 5 weeks. They came down and I learned from those guys. And while we were doing
Were they
that,
still working for Fridays at the time?
no, they had just started show tenders. In fact, this was one of their first jobs as a consultant.
Okay.
They got Fridays to hire them to come back in and do some training. So they came down to our store. We did these workshops with them for about a week. And one of the things that Magic instilled in us was he goes, it's not about bottle flip. He goes, you got to be talking to guests the whole time. He's like, when you hear that bar stool screech, you know that somebody just came up to your bar. At least look at him, make eye contact, say, hey, I see you're there. Don't worry, I got you covered. The first thing you want to do is, get a bev nap in front of them. Get them a drink. Then there's going to be time to have fun, but get them settled and comfortable. And you've got other guests. In our big bars were square. We're talking 50, 60 bar stools around a big square bartender bar. We didn't have a service bar at the end. It was 4 big stations, 4 bartenders each working, usually 2 bartenders on the weekdays. So the point is, Magic came in and he had these horseshoes that were locked together with a chain.
Right.
And he handed them to me. He says, here, try to take these apart. I'm like, what? He goes, take them apart. And I sat there forever trying to get these stupid things apart, and I couldn't figure it out. So he walks up 2 seconds later, he goes, and he pulled them apart. I'm like, well, how the hell did you do that? I've been here for like 8 minutes. I couldn't figure it out. He goes, exactly. But you were occupied for 8 minutes. So I used to go out.
Entertained for 8 minutes,
yeah,
right?
I would have these little things here, like whatever you call them. I have, boxes of them behind the bar, right?
Yeah.
People come in the bar and they order a drink. I'd put a bev nap down and I'd say, here, see if you can get those apart. And I would just throw the thing in front of them. And they're sitting there fidgeting with it, and that buys me time to go get them a drink. And the other person who just came in to get a drink.
Hit service bar real quick, or...
Exactly, or take care of a guest, or change a bev nap, or whatever it is. So it gave me a chance to keep moving around the bar. I would get them their drink. They would ask me to show them. I would do it. And then sometimes you'd have 2 people that are sitting a couple seats away from each other. Strangers.
Right. That's the key. That's the real magic here.
Yeah, I mean, I didn't have this back then, but this is a great example of just something I would have behind the bar. I had things like this, not exactly this thing, but I would sit there and set this up. They've got the little scoreboard here, and then they would just sit there and play and try to hook it up and opposing sides and see who could win. And maybe I'd buy them a shot, or they would have a competition. That was really where the flair was, getting these people to have fun and hang out, talk, communicate, get to know each other. And that was the magic that I was doing behind the bar. Then that evolved into doing magic tricks. My grandfather taught me tricks. My dad taught me tricks. I was always enamored by magic. So I did a few basic tricks. I'm still not a very good magician. I mean, I do some magic. Here's one. I used to do this one every day.
Do some magic for us.
So here we go. This is a trick. This is a bar trick. You can do this at home. You get 2 straws. You melt them together. Then you take another straw and you lean them up like this. And I do have I don't know if the other thing's working. Oh, let me move that this way.
There we go. There we go. So, that's working fine.
Look at a 2-camera shoot, dude.
You got it, brother.
Awesome. So then you would say, okay, I need you to take this other straw here. I need you to pick all 3 straws up without bending, mutilating, doing anything to this straw. And you got to pick all of these up at one time. So people go in and they try to do it, and of course they'd fail, it would fall. And then you'd stack it like this, and then they would try to, do this, and they would fall. And then you come by after they finally give up. Let's hope, pray, fingers crossed. I haven't done this in a long time. Right. It is going to.
Oh,
Then you pick a
nicely
bottle.
worked.
So it worked. First shot. I'm
Nice.
very happy. Very happy.
Yes,
All right.
yeah. I
So
haven't seen
that's an
that one of
example of
the
a bar
billions
trick.
out there.
Just using bar things you have behind the bar. I mean, we had tricks with matches that you would put down and spell a word, move one thing, and make the mathematic equation work. You can Google those. Go find them. They're so much fun. Go look at the YouTube videos of people. I mean, a really good friend of ours, Cheryl Charming, she wrote a book on it. I don't know if it's in
Yeah,
print
she's written
anymore.
more books about bartending than anybody else I know.
Yeah,
Uh,
but I mean, she did one on bar tricks. Is my point. She has a lot of,
yeah,
the cherry, the snifter with the cherry. You've all seen that one. So I
yeah.
didn't want to do a bunch of stupid tricks like that because it's
If
kind of
you've
boring.
got
But
any, I would love to see them. I've got a couple of tricks lined up for us today myself. Bar tricks are so simple to get into. Anybody that's watching, we really want to express there's really more money in bar tricks, magic tricks, and keeping people entertained and focused at the bar nowadays than there ever has been, and far more than Flair, don't you think, Phil?
absolutely, absolutely. I think that the you got to realize that there was magic bars in Chicago in the 1960s and all through the 70s, and there still are. There's a
Yeah, yeah.
great bunch of them.
Chicago Magic
There was
Lounge.
Magic Moment Restaurant here down in Sarasota, where Stevie B worked, and all these great behind the scene guys, and of course the world famous tower in Colorado in Aspen with Doc Easton. I talked to him
Yeah,
a couple days ago. He's actually
great.
I was supposed to see him next week, but he's going to be at the castle working, so I won't see him.
Oh, right, right. The Magic Castle in Hollywood. Uh,
Yeah, and so I love doing that. So I wanted to do things that were bar related. I can't do it today because I don't have the bottle. But I used to do one trick. Everybody loved it. People were drinking Heineken back those days, and
right,
I would literally take the Heineken bottle, flop it up, catch it, foot behind my back, and I would spin it and shake it out like I'm going to put it in the recycle bin. And then I would say, "Oh wait, you want to see a cool trick?" And I would hand them back their bottle. I said, "Here, watch this. That's your bottle, right? Yeah." And then I would take a quarter. I
right,
say, look, here's a quarter. And I would take the quarter and I would pop the quarter into the bottle. And then I would take the bottle and I would turn the bottle inside out to get the quarter out. And
you
the
turn the
idea was,
bottle inside out.
yeah, that was the trick I did. So the way I did it is,
Right,
I'll tell you the secret. I had a guy take all the bottles. Gave him a 6-pack. The
right,
magician, this guy had a magic shop and he was really good at making stuff. So he took a 6-pack of Heineken for me,
right.
peeled the labels off, put the label inside the bottle, and put the label back on the bottle, but from the
Isn't that
inside.
cool? Isn't that
Then I
cool?
had a second label that was on saran wrap. So I
Gotcha.
could
They could just
stick
peel
it to the
right off.
bottle. It's like a cling wrap. So that was the one
Right,
that when I flipped the bottle up and caught it, I actually switched the bottles out and I'd show the guy the bottle. Here's your bottle.
right.
Put it up. I said, give me a quarter. They'd give me one of their quarters out of their pocket.
Yeah,
Obviously, I'd pop the quarter in, shoot it out, hand it, and then I would say, I got to get the quarter out. You got to break the bottle. So I would actually take the bar towel, like I'm going to break the bottle to get the
right,
quarter
right.
out, rip off the front label, and then hand it back the bottle, and all they could see is the label on the inside of the bottle. It was great. It's one of
That's
my favorite tricks. So I'm giving you
that's
all
cool.
some secrets here. You can have fun with everyday things. Yeah, it takes some time, and I had to pay the guy to make the bottle for me. But
Right,
I earned so much. That bottle was paid for in 3 times I did the trick.
right. The tips just keep flowing in after that, right?
Oh,
Because
absolutely,
they're paying you
absolutely.
to entertain them at that point. I produced a DVD about bar tricks
Yep,
back when I released the Flairco DVDs back in the early 2000s, 2004 ish. And one of those DVDs of the 4 was dedicated to bar tricks only with items found behind the bar, oranges and
yep,
straws and napkins and all that kind of stuff.
yep.
So it's definitely there. I would love to see. I would love to see as many guys and girls into into magic behind the bar as there are into Flair. You know what I mean? There's
Yeah.
got to be a whole new thing out there.
Well,
Uh,
the other thing we were talking earlier about people gathering and getting together. So, one of the things that I wanted to do is I needed to occupy these people's time. I needed to entertain them. I wasn't here just to make you a drink. You want to
right,
sit and drink by yourself? Go to another bar, go home. But if you want to come out, meet people, have fun, be entertained, and you want to watch the guy on the other side of the bar flip bottles, sit over there. You want to be entertained over here with me? Great. You want to meet people and get to know people? Come
right.
sit over here with me. And I tell you, one of the things here, I'll show you a trick.
All
I
right.
don't know.
I'm
This
just
is a
setting
really
that
quick,
up.
and I'm going to teach you the trick.
You got it. All right.
All right.
I got to
I'm
go to
going to
your other
teach everybody.
camera.
This is a good one. So you get a lot of people involved. You hand somebody the deck and say, here, you shuffle that deck. Okay. You tell somebody else. So there's somebody else shuffles the deck. It doesn't matter, right? And then while they're shuffling the deck, I get a piece of paper and a pen out. Okay, and I would hand this to somebody in the crowd and say, "Here, you take this," and I would spread the cards out, all over the bar top.
The bar top is just the perfect surface for doing magic
Yeah,
from.
yeah, and then so I would just spread all the cards out like this, all over the bar, and I would say to one person here to my right, I'd say, "Here, you point to any card, so say stop anytime."
Stop.
Did it right here?
Yeah, that one right there.
That was the 8 of hearts. Write that down. And then so the person who I gave the paper to is writing down 8 of hearts. Write that down, 8 of hearts.
Beautiful.
Say, okay, you pick a card. Go, somebody else pick one.
All right, down
three,
two. Okay, go ahead.
3 of spades. 3 of spades. All right, pick another one.
That one. Stop.
This one?
Yep.
6 of diamonds.
How do you know that's the 6 of diamonds?
It's the 6 of diamonds. And then you know what else I know? This one right here, that's the 4 of diamonds. Because it was right by the 6. This is the 4 of diamonds right here. See? So trust me here. What were the cards again? Start again. What was the first card?
There was a 3.
The 8 of hearts.
The 8 of hearts? Yeah, I didn't actually write them down.
The 6 of diamonds and the 4 of diamonds.
And the 4 of diamonds. Oh my God.
So I teach you guys, and then you could have an accomplice with you, and you could do that. You could do 10 cards. You don't have to do 4. I did it to do quick. I'll show you how you do it really quick. You do is you get all the cards together.
Yeah, teach us.
Them. You give somebody paper so they can write them down. You got 6, 7 people. It doesn't matter. You could do it to 10 people. All you have to do is know where one card is. And right now that card is the 3 of clubs. How do I know where the 3 of clubs is? Because the cards are facing me. The 3 clubs on the bottom.
So all right. So you start with the 3 of clubs. Whatever card happens to be on the bottom, right?
Memorize the bottom card. Now as you're spreading the cards around, you pull that card out like this. So you know that it's by itself, and you can identify that card anywhere on the bar because it's right here.
Right.
Now, I can have an accomplice who knows my trick, who's a friend of mine with that group. Or I can have the other bartender who knows, but the card that's closest to me is the card I know. So this is what card? So
the 3 of clubs.
So you pick this card here. This is the 3 of clubs.
Gotcha.
3 of clubs. Write it down. Now.
Gotcha. All right, so I'm writing down the 3 of clubs.
They're watching the person write down 3 of clubs. Now I'm going and I'm taking a peek as I rotate the card in my hand. I just took a peek of it. I know that this is the 8 of diamonds right here in my hand. 8 of diamonds, guaranteed. And I know that this right here, this is the 8 of hearts. But it's not. It's my first card. So I put this card, instead of on the bottom, I put it on top.
Gotcha.
Now when you say, what was the first card?
The 3 of clubs.
8 of diamonds, 8 of hearts.
8 of hearts.
So that's how you do it. You're always one behind. Fun trick, easy to do. You could do it at the bar. You can't mess it up. You can have an accomplice that look really good if you don't even touch a card. And you could do 8 cards, 10 cards, the number of people that are with your group, and it's a great trick. That
reminds me of a trick with an accomplice as well. Let me get myself solo and you up there. Gosh, there was 9 coins on a bar. Remember that one?
Oh, yes, that was great.
You have the napkin. You could do it on the corners of the napkin.
Yes, you would do the napkin, and I would put a bev nap. Now, normally I'd have to get an accomplice.
We got to get together and do this on a regular basis, Phil, and we got to start. We're going to start doing our own yard days, our magic group online somewhere, and get more people involved. How's that?
Perfect. So you'd have a bev nap that's underneath somebody's drink. This is not your bev nap. This is the bev nap for the customer, right? So they have this here. Then you would have, I don't have enough coins right now, but you would have quarters set up on the bar or some other item, bottle caps. It doesn't matter. You just have them set up on the bar. I guess I do have 9 items.
Nice. But good. Great trick.
So you would basically,
I'm the accomplice, right? And I've got a drink sitting on the napkin, right?
You got a drink sitting on the napkin.
Right.
Okay. So now I would turn around and say, okay, look, touch any coin you want. And the person would say, I'm going to touch this coin here. Now I don't get to see because I'm turned around.
Yeah.
But the person who's my accomplice takes a sip of their drink and puts their cap down there. So now I know that they touched that coin.
Right. And
Then,
I can pick up
but
my drink again.
yeah, you pick up your drink again, and I say, here, you pick one. Even my accomplice picks one. They go like this, and then they put the thing right down like that. And I walk around the bar. I blindfold myself, and I mean, I do all kinds of stuff. And
And you
just
could
sit
go
there.
back. You could go work service bar for a minute, make a couple of drinks, and come back.
Yeah, absolutely. And then you would say, they would, you touch that one. Then I would say, you don't even have to touch it. Just point to the one you want. And of course, the accomplice would know exactly which one. And then
Right.
sometimes, I would have the accomplice don't even touch it or point. You just pick one and whisper to the person next to you which one it is, and then they would show me which one it is, and then it would go on and on. People
They'd be
would
whispering it to the accomplice.
Yeah, I'm telling the accomplice is actually in on it and helping me out. It was great. It was a fun
And the
trick.
accomplice, oftentimes the accomplice is a regular at your bar. That's just some guy sitting there having a drink, right?
Yeah, he might
Doesn't
be
have
around
to
the
be
corner and not even part of that group.
Right, right.
He's actually why sometimes he doesn't even participate. He's just watching and telling me which one they touched.
Right. Yeah, he's in on it. So while you're working this group over here, being this amazing mind magician, mentalist, you've got a regular at the end of the bar who's being entertained as hell. He's part of your night, and he's going to come back tomorrow night to do it again. Start bringing in more of his buddies. Oh, come watch. We can do this thing at my buddy's bar.
Exactly.
It's all about building regulars and building moments of memorable moments, as I like to say.
Building the regulars was important. I'm going to tell you another really quick story. So remember I told you I had to work 6 months in the service bar?
Right.
It didn't really last long. I went about 2 or 3 months, and then I started getting some front bar shifts because we lost a couple bartenders, and so we needed to fill shifts. But in my entire time ever working at Fridays, I never worked the front bar on Saturday night, and I only worked the front bar on Friday, I think twice because somebody got sick.
Right.
I never worked Friday and Saturday night.
Those weren't big money nights for you, were they?
They were the biggest money nights at the bar.
Right, but not for you.
Not for me. I didn't get to. I would sometimes work service bar on Saturday night. That was my good money night. I'd make good money. But here's my point. I worked Sunday night, Monday night, Wednesday, and Thursday lunch, right? So I was working these weird nights. Monday night was a ghost town. I made maybe $55, $60 my first Monday night. Me and Craig together, my buddy Craig. And we made no money. We're like, man, this is horrible. I mean, we were making double, triple that on the floor as a server. Why were we working Monday night for $50?
Right.
So our manager, we got business cards made up. We got free app cards. And we went around to every bar Friday night and Saturday night. And we would go into sleep. Big tips. We picked target 2 or 3 bars to go to. Leave good tips, leave our schedule. On the back of our business card was a rubber stamp so we could check the nights that we worked or the shifts that we worked. And we give them a free app card. Come see us Monday night. We'll have the game on. Come see us Monday night. We turned Monday night from about a $700, maybe $500, sales night. We were doing more on Monday night than they did on Friday night. 2 bartenders, not 4. I was making double on Monday night than what they made. And it took about 3 months to get that. And we built that. We ran that for 2 years. We were 2 deep, 3 deep on a Monday night because you know why? People loved to come see Craig because he made the best drinks and he was the nicest and all the girls loved him. He was the cute beach dude, the surfer dude, and he'd have that crowd going on. He had all the Hooters girls in there, and that was great.
Yeah.
Me, I'm on the other side of the bar doing magic. So people would come in, hey, you got to go see the magic. You got to go see the magic. And I would be doing card to ceiling. I'd be doing all kinds of crazy crap. That's how I really honed my magic. I started watching old VHSs of Doc Eason, who was a mentor to me and had never knew who I was. I met him 20 years after the fact, and he and I have become friends since then, which is amazing.
Right.
But I learned a lot from Doc. The first rule that Doc taught me was get a drink in front of them. You got to get to sell the booze. Got to get the booze flowing. You don't need to be there just like the
you hear that noise?
The guy that's doing tricks. Take time to be part of a bartender who happens to do a trick every once in a while.
Right.
It's not a show. It's a thing you do while you're working. When you have a moment, you do a trick. And then you would do
Bill?
a trick. People would say, "You got to come in and see this guy."
Absolutely. People start coming in. I actually did that on a Sunday night. I had a manager who was getting pissed off at me, and he gave me a Sunday night by myself. And I turned that Sunday night into one of the biggest nights of my biggest night anyway. I was making big money on Sundays. And by the time I was done a couple of weeks in, I had every bartender going on my Sunday nights. Let me switch my camera over. And Phil, I got a surprise for you.
All right.
Are you ready?
Okay. I think so.
My one camera's going to die, so that could be a problem. That'll be a surprise on its own. But let's see. Oh, what is that? I've got some fur or something here. Who's that?
Is that Cheryl?
That's Cheryl
Is she
Charming.
there with you right now?
Cheryl Charming is calling in. Turn your camera sideways, Cheryl.
Oh, she's not there. She's on camera.
Turn your phone sideways for me, Cheryl.
I'm sideways?
Turn your camera sideways, horizontal for me. There we go.
Yeah.
All right.
You guys, I have no makeup on. I have no makeup on or anything. I pulled over on the side of the road. I'm in the Badlands in South Dakota.
You look beautiful.
Very special to see me this way. Okay. Hey, Philip.
Hey there. Haven't seen you in a while. We're gonna meet. Are you gonna be at Tales or no?
I tried to connect with you when I was in Tampa.
I know, and you were here for a while too.
Here's my question. During Tales, will it be 70 degrees in New Orleans?
No, it will not.
Then I won't be there.
It'll be raining at about 97.
Cheryl is currently traveling. Tell us about it.
I'm chasing the 70-degree weather around North America. I'm trying to find a spot here. Okay. Yeah, I'm in my bedroom.
Which is your van, right?
Yeah.
I'm in a camper van, and I'm in my bedroom right now. And if I reach over here, I'm now in my kitchen. and if I reach a little further, that's my bathroom. Anyway, you get the idea.
Awesome.
Am I not
That's awesome.
I'm not centered. Am I centered?
No, you're jumping all over the place.
It's mirrored too. So you go this way, it goes the wrong way.
It's opposite too.
I have my other camera because I was going to show cards, and I don't want it to be backwards. But
right.
Okay, I'm trying to figure it out here. Okay.
Very good. We got you front and center there.
How fun is that? It's so good to see you.
Yeah, I was trying to get her lined up for the show, and yeah, she said I could call in from on the road. So she's in the middle of a mountain range somewhere.
You remember this one?
Yes, of course I do.
Right.
My favorite. I was gonna do my one with the champagne fluid inside the wine glass with the shot in there, and you can only touch with one hand, touch one glass. Oh, I used to do that one every night. Every night that would be done. So,
Cheryl, how many books about bartending and bar tricks have you written, including the one I have on the screen, The Cocktail Companion, The Guide to Cocktail History, Culture, Trivia, and Favorite Drinks?
I did 17 books with publishers. Hey. Yeah, and my very first book was Bar Tricks and Bar Magic.
Yes, I have it. It's in a box.
Right.
With all my other bar books.
But it made you a ton of money.
At my office, and I can't find it right now. It's in a box with all my books. That's how I got to know. No, I was just going to say that's how I got to know you, because you had that book, and I reached out. I went to your webpage, and you and I started chat. It was probably 1996, 97, somewhere around there.
No, my first book came out in 2000.
All right, so the magic the bar trick came out in 2000.
Yeah, and I had been doing bar tricks for 20 years by that point.
Yeah, but maybe it was before your book came out that you had the website.
Yeah, 98.
Yeah, that's when it was when you started the
Yeah,
site. That's when, yeah,
yeah, yeah,
good times.
Good.
yeah.
Philip, can you do a trick for us? Can you entertain us with some
Yeah, you want?
magic?
I'll do a trick. I'll do a trick. I'll do a trick. Let me
Yeah?
see. I've got a few tricks. Let me do this one just because I have it sitting here.
Yeah. You got
So
a
It
beautiful
doesn't involve
setup
a
there.
piano, does it?
there is a piano. It's on the other side of the room.
I knew it.
It's out of range. It's out of range. It's out of range. All right. So we'll see if we can do
Philip's
this
the
on camera.
entertainer.
So I've got 4 red cards and I've got 4 black cards. It'll be easy to know which ones are the red because the red ones are red on the back. See?
Yes.
See, they're red on the back.
Right.
Okay. Now the black ones are going to be easy to tell because they are blue or black on the back. Right? 1, 2, 3, 4.
Right.
So what I'm going to do is I'm going to take the red ones and I'm going to stick them in between the black ones, just like that. And I hope it's coming up good on the camera. You see that they're interlaced, right?
Yeah, it looks great.
Now what I'm going to do is I'm going to squeeze them all
Yes.
together. Now watch. They're not. I didn't do anything tricky yet. They're still, see, red, black, red, black. And what we're going to do is we're going to go ahead and take all of them. We're going to square them up nice and tight. And we're going to shake them. And watch what happens. They separate black from red. Isn't that crazy? Watch. I'll do it again for you. So I got the red ones here. And I got the black ones. I'm going to put the black ones in between the red ones. Just like that. See? Black one in between the red one. Black one in between the red one, and the black one in between the red one, right? And I squeeze them all together. Now look, they're still mixed. I haven't done anything to them yet, right? Now see, look, watch what happens. We take them, we square them up, we give them a shake, and look at that. They separate again. It's crazy.
Woo!
Watch. I put the red ones here, and watch, I got the black ones here. 1, 2, 3, 4, and I put the black ones right on top of the red ones. Now watch this.
Oh,
Give
they're
it,
mixed up now.
give it a shake. My hands are sticky. And look, they mix up again. That's called oil and water. That's a good trick. Kind of fun.
Nice.
Did
Nice.
That's
did I
cool.
flash? Can you edit that?
I didn't see a thing. I didn't see a thing.
My sticky hands here.
That's funny. All right. I'm just working on my cameras here. I just lost one of my cameras. So Cheryl, where did you get started doing bar tricks, and just how influential does doing bar tricks and magic behind the bar been on your own career?
Well, I was promoted to bartender in 1980 from cocktail server. And 6 months in, this guy named Daddy Jack showed me a trick. And I know you guys know which one it is. It's the one with the snifter and the olive.
And the
And
cherry.
you have to get it into,
Yeah.
yes, or the cherry. I actually learned it with the cherry because he ordered a Manhattan and he took the cherry out of the Manhattan and asked me for a brandy snifter and started doing the trick. And everybody at the bar loved it. And I wrote it down on a cocktail napkin. And then I guess it took me about 10 years to collect about 1,000 bar tricks and bar magic tricks. Because I went and worked on a cruise ship in the Caribbean, then I went to Walt Disney World, and I just, every time I would do the tricks that I was learning, people would always go, "Oh my God, do you know the one with the dime and the dollar and the toothpicks?" And you know what I mean? And I would just
Right.
write them down and save them. Yeah.
Yeah. I used to love the one with the bill. You put, you got the cherry set up. You put
There
the
it
bill,
is.
Yep. There it is.
There it is. Yeah, I was.
Except I
Go
always
ahead.
use olives now. I always use olives because the cherries are too sticky.
Right.
And yeah, and then once I do that one, I expanded on it, and I would put I would put 2 olives there, and then
Gotcha.
3, and then 4, and then 5. You know what I mean? To
That's
continue it
cool.
on.
So for
Yeah.
people at home, so that I can show it, because this is probably one of the ones that I started with as well. The challenge is, can you get the cherry into the snifter without touching the cherry, correct?
Oh, no, 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 no. I had another object, like a small glass. Actually, I first learned it with an ashtray, but I changed that. So you
Right,
have to get
right.
the cherry into the other object. The rules are,
Oh, that's
is
right.
the only,
So I'd be
the
here, and you
rules
have to get the
are,
cherry into the dish, right?
sure, yeah, it's 3 items. And the rules are, is the only thing that you're allowed to touch is the brandy snifter.
Right.
And the brandy snifter must remain inverted at all times.
Inverted, but not necessarily inverted.
And then I had to add, after doing it so many years, I had
Right.
to add, and you cannot use the rim to try to stick the cherry on the rim and shake it off.
So it looks like this at the end of the day, after the people have tried to scoop it up and tried to do all this
No,
crazy stuff. It goes on, we
no, I
spin
don't.
it around.
Yeah, I
Right.
actually eliminated the scooping. I didn't want it because I have customers to wait on. I've got drinks to make for servers. I
Right.
eliminated the scooping. That's why I started. It must remain inverted at all times. And then I would always bring up, like, like Top Gun, it has
Right.
to remain inverted. So that keeps them from tilting it, and you know what I mean.
Oh, I see. So you're saying it has to stay
But
upside down.
Yeah.
no, but that's the way I do it.
Yeah. Yeah, very good.
Hey, so
There's
did you
one
ever have
trick.
did you ever have that one drunk guy who you're like, you got to do? He wants you to do a bar trick.
Yeah, I'm
and you gotta
usually
give him a
I'm
bar
usually
trick?
the one drunk guy, actually. Yeah.
Well, it happened every night. You'd always have one trick that you give to that guy that maybe somebody else at the bar knew, or maybe they didn't know, but then they figured it out halfway through. So remember the one with the 3 rocks glasses, Cheryl? I think you taught me
The
this one
three
actually.
box,
Yeah, I'll show you. Just
the
throw the
three,
camera up. So we got. I just use cups and balls, but it's the 3 cups. Say, look, you have to get all of the cups face
yeah,
down, and you have to make 3 moves, and you have to move 2 cups per move. It looks like this. Ready? 1, 2,
yeah,
3. Now all 3 are upside down. Now you do it. So you get that guy to do it.
right,
He would say they couldn't figure it out. So no, you got to use all 3 moves, and they would go like this, and you got to move 2 every move. They couldn't do it. I said, no, watch. It's very simple. 1, 2, 3. 1, 2, 3. And now we get all 3 down. And then you would go like this. And if you realize I just did it on purpose, is
Right.
that when
yeah,
you start with the one in the middle up, all of the cups
yeah.
will end up. If you start with the one in the middle down, they will all end up down. You stay on the right side the whole time. So it's 1, 2, 3. You just go left, right, back in the middle. That's it, and get them all
Yep.
down. Then you flip this up, and when they go to do it, it's going to be up no matter what. They can't get them all down. So that was another fun one.
Yeah, that's fun. I will say, let me put this in here. So I tended bar for 42 years, up until 8 months ago. And over those years, my bar tricks pretty much came to a cream of the crop 10. Because when you work in
Yes.
tourist areas, you can do the
Yes.
same ones over and over and over.
Over and
And
over.
and the whole way I would do it is, after I would serve their drinks, I would say, "Hey, I just learned this magic trick. Do you mind if I try it out on you?" And it's the um what's it called? It's the 4 items, and it's a force. And I
Right.
force them to pick an item, and one of those items is underneath a shaker tin. And then I force them to choose an item. You know how that works.
Yeah.
And
Right.
um, and then I lift up the shaker tin and go, "Da-da! I knew you'd pick that up." And everyone is just stunned. They don't know what to think. And while they're stunned, and I want to add this, that I don't do that until their drink is 3/4 or a quarter full, 3/4 empty. When
Until
they're
they're ready
ready
for
for another
another drink.
round. Yes. That's when I'll go up to them. Hey guys, how you doing? Blah blah blah. And then, bam, I'll say, "I knew you'd pick that. hey, you guys want to get another round? And they're like, yeah. You know what I mean?
Right.
Bartending, you're just a salesperson. You're there to sell as much, food and drink that you can and get that tab up.
Yeah, I used to always have things hidden around the bar, and I had a watch, and I still have it. I pulled it out.
Oh, is that it? Is that it? Is
Great
that
magic out there, There's so many great things. I've made so much money doing magic behind the bar.
Yeah.
That's
Yeah.
awesome.
Yeah.
So I would have a watch on, and I'd have this watch that has the, if they pick the king of hearts, just ironically, or I even forced on the king of hearts on them, I would say, oh wait, you know what time it is? And I would show them that was their card. So I had stuff like that, or I always had a card hidden. I always had cards hidden behind the bar. So if somehow, some way they picked the 7 of hearts, I would go to the drink menu. I said, wait, what is that you're drinking? You're drinking a Long Island iced tea? And I would go to the Long Island iced tea page in the menu, and boom, it's in here, I swear. I know I hit it. Oh, there it is. 7 of hearts.
Oh, it's in the menu. I love it.
It's in the menu. So I always had
love it.
Hidden everything. Every night I'd come in, I'd hide almost a full deck, and I knew where they all were. And that way, if somebody ever picked them out, I knew how to get them to pick that card, or it would come up. Because I wanted to do tricks that didn't require a lot of sleight of hand, because I didn't have time for it. And to be quite honest with you, I could do a trick, somebody picks that card, and then later on I incorporate that card again into a trick, which is always fun.
Right.
Because now they're like, you remembered and it could have been the person that was a little bit further down the bar.
Yeah.
Like, hey, wasn't that your card from a couple minutes ago? So it's a way to have fun with it that way too.
Great.
Yeah.
All right, guys, I've got my guests for our next round starting to call in. Who wants to take us out with a little magic? I think Phil's ready. I mean, you've got all kinds of stuff.
I could do one more quickie for you.
Yeah. Well, I mean, we got 8 minutes. Take as much time as you want, but no longer than 8 minutes.
Well, I'll do this one only because
give us some
one
love.
of my favorite tricks. I don't know if you can see it. So I'm that good.
How's that?
There we go. Perfect. You got me on both spots, but we'll see how it goes. So these are just black spot cards. They don't mean anything. They're just neutral. Okay, they don't mean anything. But these are the cards you need to memorize. This is
2,
the
3, 4, 5.
The 5 of hearts, the 4 of hearts, the 3 of hearts, and the 2 of hearts. Those are the ones you need to memorize. Okay. Now what I'm going to do is I'm going to put the cards down and just watch. Okay, where I put them. We're going to take the 5 and put the 5 here. Take the 4, put it here. Take the 3 and put it here. And then this is the 2. Okay, so we're going to put the 2 on top. And now I'm going to move the 2 to the second position. See, I moved it from the top to the number 2 spot. We square them up. And then boom. It jumps to the top. Now, watch one more time. I'll do the 3. Now, this is the 3. We'll put the 3. 1, 2, 3 from the top. Because it's the number 3. Squeeze it into the middle. 3
right to the top.
Now, this is crazy because look, I really do have in my hand these 4 spot cards. Okay, all they are is the black spot cards, and I'll take that 4 of hearts. 1, 2,
Fourth
3,
position.
4. Fourth position. Squeeze them all together. Jumps it. And look, it's just the same 4 black cards I had before. See, 1, 2, 3, 4. Now watch. What's the last card I got left? Which is this one?
The 5.
What's this one? The 5 of hearts?
Yeah.
Watch. Goochy goo. 5 jumps to the top. And there's my 5.
Nice work. Yeah, you guys.
Good job, Philip.
Yeah, well done. We talk about having 5 tricks, or Cheryl, as you talked about 10. I used to work magic going around table to table doing bar hopping magic. And there's a famous line that I once learned saying that an amateur does many tricks to the same audience. So as you're learning, you always go to your mom and say, show her a trick. And the professional does only a few tricks to many audiences. So, you work it, and as you learn different tricks and whatnot, you learn the 5 or the 10 that work the most. And I do those same 5 tricks over and over again. It's my sponge balls and my invisible deck and my ambitious card. That's my routine, but I always have a different audience in front of me. So I'm always doing the same trick to a different audience. And that's the perfect playing ground for being a bartender because your audience is constantly changing. Right?
Exactly. So you have your repertoire. It's like, you do your, whatever the opening trick is that you do. And for me, it was always to get them to do a game, like one of those game things I talked about. I would always get them to do something like that, or maybe it was a puzzle trick or the cherry. I would just get them to do something to keep them occupied and maybe talk to somebody next to them and get to talk.
I see you, Rocky. Hold tight.
Yeah.
But then it was, like you said, I always had that, like Cheryl said, that list of 10 tricks that I knew I could always do. They're always set up, ready to go. I always had something ready to go. And you're right, Dean. That's the catch is don't try to do too much, because now I would incorporate a new trick into the repertoire, maybe drop one off. You get something new to add. But I did card to ceiling every night. People every night. That last call, they wanted to see card to ceiling every night.
Yeah, I worked in a restaurant where I had card to ceiling. There's 200 or 300 cards on the ceiling.
Yeah,
after working there for 3 years.
Was covered with them.
Yeah.
One night, funny this. One night I'm doing card to ceiling, and the guy says, "Man, I already seen you do that trick. My name's up there like 4 times." I'm like, "Okay, we'll do something fun." So I start doing card to ceiling for the guy. Signs the card. I do the whole routine. Mine was a little bit different than the original. I lost the card a little bit differently, and I got it out. I controlled it a little bit differently. So then I take the cards out of the box. I said, "Screw this!" I throw the box down and I throw the cards across the entire dining room in the mall, and they go over all the tables. This is like 1 o'clock in the morning. All the cards explode all over the place, and on the glass, all the way across the room is one card with the guy's signature on it. I said, "Go get the card." The guy walked down the stairs, walked all the way to the table, and went to get the card. It was on the other side of the glass.
Right.
Oh, okay, Chris Angel.
So we were in. I'll tell you how I did it. Okay.
We did that in Winnipeg. It was freezing cold.
No, it was an inside mall, so the window was actually an inside window. So
right. And you got a buddy who's tired. He just lost his breath.
And Craig, the other bartender, had really good running shoes.
Absolutely, guys. There's so much fun to it. Let's the 3 of us commit to figuring out how to get more bar magic and bar tricks going on online, and form the Bartenders with Flair Association of America, or whatever the hell it might be. And start pulling all this together. We just talked to a couple of guys that are doing a book about Flair bartending, and there's so much going on in magic and bar tricks. Let's try to figure out how to meet more often and share more of this with our audience. What do you guys think?
I couldn't agree more.
Yeah,
I couldn't agree more.
I would love to do that. Because I think there's a whole other community out there that's just waiting to blossom. So in the next one, I'd like to give you my whole formula that I perfected throughout those 40 years. So that'd be great.
That would be wonderful.
Yeah. That would be wonderful. Yeah. So let's get together and do this again. I got 2 minutes away from bringing in the Marina Del Rey Flair Bartenders from 1985 TGI Fridays team.
Oh, that's going to be fun.
Yeah. I've got John Mezcal and a bunch of his other bartenders and barbacks and managers from the day that truly started Flair bartending. So,
well, if he can hear me, hey John, good to see you, buddy.
He can see you. Yeah. John can see you. We can't see him. So I gotta let you guys go so I can get some more guests in here. Love you both very dearly. Thank you.
Bye.
Dean, we'll see you later, bro.
Phil, thanks for doing all that setup and only getting to show us a couple of tricks, but now we know
I
it
had
works.
my 10 ready to go. All
right,
hey,
we'll get to
follow my travels on Cheryl Charming Facebook, YouTube, Instagram.
You got it. We will like and subscribe. Thank you so much.
Okay.
All right.
See you guys.
Love you. Safe travels. All right, Phil. Thank you very much, man. We'll catch up to you on our next round. All right.
Later, guys.
Thanks for always being ready for us.